sometimes when things slow down or even come to a screeching halt, it's an opportunity really for some going within.
You are now listening to the highlight reel builder for authors, the Going North podcast. I'm your host, best-selling author, and Maxwell Leadership Certified Trainer, DomBrightmon. And you're going to be getting some tips and techniques to advance yourself coming up next. Today's review highlight comes from a person by the name of I Don't Smile Often. Well, I hope they smile a lot more often than their name suggests. They left a 5-star review titled Great Podcast. I enjoy the book recommendations as I found some sweet gems from listening. Dom is great. And you two are great, my friend, as well as you two right now who is listening to this show. If you'd like to leave some kind words and tell us what you like about the show in the reviews, do that on goingnorthpodcast.com, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite podcast listening app, so that way we can highlight it during a future episode. So my goodness, let's get on with today's episode so you can read more, live more, and do more. And today on the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, known as GMP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous, it's the Going North podcast. We got another super special, awesome human for you today, my friends. That's right indeed, because my goodness, it's the era of returning guests. That means the lights are still on, y'all. That's right indeed. So that means we're doing something right around these parts because today's guest, she's a super special, awesome human indeed, because it's been almost 4 dang years since her last appearance. She was actually episode 169 of all episodes. Now we're in the 600, which is still crazy to me with this whole episode indeed. But yesterday is going to be one heck of a great returning guest because we got an award-winning best-selling author, a fellow podcast host, as well as a shamanic healer, warrior goddess facilitator, and a best-selling author of multiple books. Let's give it up for the one, the only Kerri Hummingbird. How you doing today, Kerri?
Well, thank you so much for having me back on this show, Dom. We are so going to have a great conversation today and hopefully open lots and lots and lots of hearts to wild potentials in front of us, even as we walk sometimes through a scary, dark place called the current environment. But we can actually walk through there with light and love in our hearts. And so I'm excited about today being with you.
That's what I'm talking about, D, with a big old X, all the excitement indeed. So my goodness, it's been almost 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. This is what, the second or third book since the second wave? Guess
This
you got
this is this is the second book since the second wave. The second wave is still on the charts internationally, if you can believe that. It's like 190 weeks and running. Kind of amazing, kind of blows me away. Like, wow. That's cool. I guess that's when you know that you handed it over to Great Spirit and it's like it's a done deal. Like, that's it. So yeah, that book and then Love is Fierce, Healing the Mother Wound was 2021 and I did a lot of work in working on that book and have a nice healed relationship with my mom. And that wasn't a guarantee, but I was really glad that it happened. So, and now we got the new book out, Inner Medicine, coming out on Earth Day. I hope you're going to join us on Earth Day, Dom. You going to join us for a ceremony on Earth Day and honor Mother Earth?
the magical queen, Mother Earth. You'll love to see it. That's right indeed. Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Hopefully, all the red wine isn't drunk out of the bottle that day by Mother Earth, since Mother.
Well, they actually put a little bit of red wine in the sacred offering, a little bit of like, here's some beautiful sensuality, for you today, Mother Earth. Thank you so much for all you do for us. We need some thanks and gratitude in our hearts for this life experience that we get to have.
So you're saying it might actually snow in June? Okay then. All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Just like a tiny little bit of gratitude could just sparkle forth and in the midst of all the chaos and the stress that people are enduring right now. But yeah, a little bit of gratitude goes a long way.
Heck yeah, I could definitely see that again, indeed. So my goodness, so it's been almost freaking 4 years. Like, how has it been for you? Growth, Why? Second book after the second wave, and then I know you had that other wonderful book talking about the mother wound as well, and I'm sure there's been a whole bunch of traveling internally and externally, especially since we had a big old pandemic where we're still recovering from that pandemic. So how's the growth been since the last conversation?
It's been really good actually. And sometimes when things slow down or even come to a screeching halt, it's an opportunity really for some going within. And when we go within, we open up new potentials, like all new things, because we actually face ourselves and reconcile things. So I think a lot of what happened during the pandemic, although some people really had a hard time, other people really flourished because it was that opportunity to really slow it way down, like not have to drive through traffic to work like there and back every day and having like that extra hour and a half or 2 hours every day to spend with your family or being in the house, and watching your kids and hearing about school and being right there when it's happening. So there's a lot of different ways that that could play out. And we had kids in the house going to school and homeschooling, and it gave us an opportunity to spend a whole, maybe like a whole month with them at a time. That happened at one point during the pandemic, and then a month down with their mom because their mom lives about 2 hours away from the school that they attend. So it's usually she doesn't get to spend that kind of time with them. So it was great because she got to spend like, 2 months with them. So I think it's all how we take it. It's all what we make of it. And when we make it that opportunity to kind of say thank you for the stillness, thank you for space, thank you for clarity, thank you for that extra check from the government, thank you so much for all this help, and and then I can relax a little and recenter and like ask myself, what do I actually want to create? And of course, a lot of people did that, and then now that things are they're not going back to normal, but people sure are trying to make it go back to normal and kind of do all the same patterns as before. And my encouragement is don't do that. Like, make it different now. Like, so many lessons we learned during COVID, during the pandemic, that we could apply now and just take our own, like, self mastery break. Like, hey, I'm going to slow it way down and I'm going to align myself to what I really desire. And I'm going to look inside and heal those things that I kind of never have time to look at because I'm so busy. And just take a moment and really think about that thing and resolve it once and for all. Make that decision. It's a great opportunity. So I think slowing down was good for us, Dom, and I hope people continue to do it without needing, another kind of like big global pandemic to cause them to slow down.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Because nobody wants or needs that again.
Yeah, let's just do our work instead, right? Like we don't need an extreme situation like that to actually focus and do our self-mastery.
Although I would take the essential worker traffic back. I'll take that back though.
Oh my gosh. Like, and all the cities cleared up, right? Like, there was no more smog because nobody was driving their cars. Wasn't that great? I was reveling in that. I was like, this is fantastic. Like, the earth is healing. There's no more smog. The animals are coming out of terror from human encroachment and like taking a first few steps of freedom. It was like actually really beautiful to see that side of life.
You could say that again. I love what you said there. The terror of human encroachment. That's right indeed. A new phrase for super introverts everywhere who don't want to people.
The terror of human encroachment. It was perfect for anybody who's a hermit. And I have in my design, I'm a hermit opportunist. So I'm like a split personality. So like half the time I just want to be alone in my cave, leave me alone. The other half I want to get out there and talk because I'm a sage, as we talked about at the beginning, right before the show. Is like, yeah, I'm a sage, so I like to talk. But the other half of the time I don't want to talk and I don't want to see anybody. I want to be alone. And I just want to be holed up in my cave. So, that pandemic was awesome for me because my hermit was just so happy. Like, yes, finally, I don't have to be around hardly anybody. It was great. It was awesome. Except my family. My family was here all the time, but that was okay.
There you go. That's right indeed. She has a new title, or she has an additional title to all of her titles. Hermit Opportunist.
Totally. That's from Human Design. So everybody can look up your Human Design. It's really fascinating stuff. I love it. It explains so much, so much. It's not
Oh
manic
wow.
depressive. It's not bipolar. It's hermit opportunist. There's always another way to look at it, another lens that's more forgiving and gentle. And that's kind of like when you realize you're designed that way because there it is in black and white. Like you just like put your birth date in there and you put your time and location and it tells you you're a split personality by design. And then you don't have to take it so personally when somebody gives you a diagnosis. It's like, well, all you're doing is stating the obvious. I mean, my design already told me that I'm designed to be completely opposite of one another. This side is like over here and this side is way over here. So, yeah, that's the way it's built.
So
Embrace it, Dom, embrace it.
with both arms and legs, I hear you. That's right indeed. Embrace it. That's right indeed. So that means there's a Kerri Phoenix on the other side that we don't know about.
There's a lot of carry going on. Yeah. Right now it's very there's right now the carry going on is like the opportunist, right? Like because there's a book launch and there's a sharing and there's the conversations with all of my friends like you that I haven't talked to in so long because I was hermiting. And now I'm back out again. It's like, "Hi, I'm back. How are you doing today?" And for anybody else who's like, "I'm kind of like that too, but I was always told to be feel bad about that." It's like, "Don't. No. Don't. You're just designed that way. So just accept yourself the way you are."
Ah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. So my goodness. So with this wonderful book about inner medicine, I hear it's been a 12-year journey in the process. So what makes this book different from your other five books? Because I believe there's been almost a different process for each one that you've released thus far.
Totally. Yeah, this book is really the culmination of my journey from external medicine into internal medicine, inner medicine, because for the first part of my life, and I would say the first part is like, you know, up until this year, and actually maybe 12 years, I was disengaging from the first part of my life. But the first part of my life was all about what other people thought I should do, what other people thought was going on with me. And usually those people had two little letters or three little letters after their names, and they had a little lab coat, or they were like somehow recognized with a certificate on the wall as like being the expert in all things psychology, in all things mind. And, I externalized to these experts everything about me. Like, am I okay? Am I broken? Am I bad? Am I wrong? How do I be a better person? How do I stop being so broken? And that was just like me not accepting me, not accepting my innate design. So when I started this process at the bottom of my tunnel of despair, where, as you could imagine, after you get labeled and diagnosed as broken for good, and then they say, well, you can cope with it, and here's some strategies, and you can come to psychotherapy and cope with it there, and then you can take this pill, and that'll help you cope with it. And it's all about coping. That's not a very exciting prognosis for your life. It's very depressing. And I didn't really want to do that. And so I was suicidal. But I had two little bright shining lights, my sons, and I didn't want to leave them. I wanted to be their mama and I didn't want to leave them without a mama. So I knew I had to do something to make myself want to stay. And so to make myself want to stay alive, I had to leave a lot of the conditions that were making me feel bad. And in leaving all those things, I found this other way. I found this path of discovery where I could change my whole experience of life by using inner medicine instead of relying on outer medicine. I could come inside and change my entire experience of life. And what ended up happening was I'm here today. Like, I mean, I am number one international bestselling author of many books. I'm a mentor. I'm a medicine woman. I'm somebody that helps other people find their way. People come to me for healings, and I open sacred space and let Great Spirit move through me. I mean, these are like tremendous gifts that I get to experience every day in my life. And I get out of bed and I'm excited to get out of bed. And I have an awesome family. And I'm so lucky, so fortunate. And I wake up grateful because I made that choice to live, and because I made that choice to take whatever doorway the mystery was offering me to heal and to accept and love myself fully and to cultivate that deep inner wisdom, that inner medicine that is so profound. It's like brings me to a state of pure presence with my spirit, pure connection with Mother Earth. And from this place I can just show up. I show up and I listen. I listen really deep inside, and answers come. Revelation comes, insight comes. And everybody can do this, not just me. So I like to share this with people because I know a lot of people feel so stressed and overwhelmed and depressed and disillusioned about life. And it's been very stressful, as you mentioned before the broadcast. It's been super stressful on the planet, and with the pandemic and all the things, it's been really hard. And people have lost jobs and family and loved ones, and they feel like losing themselves or just not even knowing what they want anymore, why they even want to be here. And I want to say, like, you're in the perfect place for a huge transformation if that's where you're at. If you're listening and you're like, that's me, you're in such a perfect place for that beautiful doorway of destiny to open and to have the courage to make the great departure and walk through that door and leave behind all the ideas you had about yourself and about life and what life is all about, and just leave that and learn something new like a little child, like innocent like a child. And that feeling of awe and wonder is so fulfilling, and it makes life really enjoyable again. And that's, I love to see people light up, that I help, and it's just so great. And when the sacred opens up in a session, it's like, ah, it's so beautiful. It's just so absolutely beautiful to feel someone's heart open. And that's why I love what I do. That's why I wrote the book. I wanted more people to be able to trust themselves and follow the mystery, unlock their sacred design, find all those gold Pac-Man nuggets hidden all over their life, and hit the big score. It's like I just feel like I want everyone to experience that. It's available for everyone. So that's why I do what I do. That's why I wrote the book.
Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Indeed, she loves folks embracing their full light bulb. That's right, indeed. Their full star swag, indeed. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed.
It's true. This little light of mine. That's a song for a reason.
That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Doesn't have to be a little one. We all got many sizes, indeed. Some have lights bigger than others. Let them all shine. Let them all shine brightly.
Yeah,
That's
just
right,
be your
indeed.
right size and shine your light.
Heck yeah. That's a one liner for you.
And it ain't no big thing. It's like, you know what? I think I've said this to you before, but I'm not sure. But I heard somewhere along the line some amazing master teacher, and I can't remember the name of the person. Isn't that terrible? But they said that it's like this is a one-room classroom, and it's a one-room school, and all grades are represented. So we have like kindergartners right in there with college and PhD kids, like it's like everybody's in the same room together. And everybody is having a journey. Everybody is being pushed to their personal boundary, whether you're like got 1,000 lifetimes under your belt or like one. So we all get to learn together. And that's the beauty of, I mean, that's so amazing to me is how does life orchestrate that? Like all these different people with different levels of experience and different understandings, we all get matched together in like the most perfect ways so that everybody learns. It's incredible.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about, indeed. For some reason, I'm thinking Dan Millman, maybe? Maybe that one? Because it
I'm
made
not
me
sure.
think.
I think it was somebody like from India, like some guru. But anyway, I wish I could remember who that was. I'm gonna have to go look that up, that quote.
Ah, there you go. That's right, indeed. One room classroom swag, indeed. That's right, indeed. But hey, sometimes the room it has to be so big. It probably has to be one of those huge rooms, indeed, because you got so much wisdom you've acquired and so much you've have to share. So my goodness, so now that this is far from your first rodeo in terms of book publishing. Is there something that you wish you would have done so far that you plan on doing with this book that you haven't done with the last book that you produced, the wonderful Love is Fierce book?
Mm. You know, the Love is Fierce book, I put together a summit of like some amazing speakers, and we talked about the return of Mother Wisdom, and that was really amazing. That's still available for anybody who wants to listen to those. But this time I said, it's a lot of work putting together a summit. So I decided instead that I'd put together a ceremony and on Earth Day, and that it would honor Mother Earth using a sacred ceremony. And just invite everybody to come and contribute their prayers and their beautiful intentions and beautiful visions because we're the sacred dreamers of Mother Earth. We when we become it, when we really realize it, that we're dreaming the world into being all the time anyway. Like when we're unconscious, we're still dreaming it into being. We're just attracting stuff we don't want. So when we get to be conscious dreamers, it's like, wow, what world do I want to dream into being for 7 generations from now? Like, what world do I want to imagine and call forth for future generations? And then once you see that and you really feel it and you know it's possible because now it's been created because you imagined it and you felt it, now you get to walk those breadcrumb steps to make that happen in your own way. I think that's really powerful to do that collectively all together. And so that's what we're going to do on Earth Day. And, if people can't make it on Earth Day or if you didn't see this till long after, you can still get the replay from it and engage in it because there really is no time. Time is just sort of a construct we use to meet at a certain point in the continuum, like right now for this broadcast. But it's not really, it's fluid. So it'll still work if you listen to it later.
Woohoo! You heard that right, folks. It's like an entrepreneur. It ain't just 9 to 5. It's 24/7. Yeah. That's right.
All the time. Regular people don't understand that, I think, but entrepreneurs totally get that.
That's right, indeed. 40 hours a week, forget that. Give me all the hours. 168 hours. Oh, wait, I still got to sleep. Okay, 167 hours. Yeah,
But
there
you're
we go.
still you're still dreaming while you're dreaming asleep. You're still doing it, connecting with the collective and healing the planet. Woohoo! Let's just do it all the time.
That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. So, my goodness, so with that wonderful summit that's still available for those who want to get some of that motherly wisdom swag, is what's probably been some of your biggest lessons learned with now publishing your sixth book compared to your first book that also was an award-winning book.
You know what's so interesting is that the first book and all of my books really have worked the same kind of way, which is that I always got the title up front, like I always knew what the title was, and that means I knew what the intention of the book was. And then the mystery just sort of unfolded it, like chapter by chapter by chapter. It's like, oh my goodness, now we're doing this. And then I'll just be living my life writing the book, but like just walking around, living my life, just kind of doing whatever. I'm going to the coffee shop or whatever. And then all of a sudden something happens that's completely related to what I'm writing in the book. And I realize it's an orchestration. It's like, oh, here you go. This is that piece of the book. And for me, it's always an embodiment. So for me, it's like I write when I understand in my body what needs to be written. So I have to experience it in order to write about it, which is why all of my books are written experientially. So I start off with the intention and then I start writing, but then I'll like things will happen in my life specifically because I need to talk about that in my book. And I'll get to experience it, feel it from the inside, navigate it inside myself, kind of come to resolution. And then oftentimes the resolution happens through the actual writing, the writing process, like integrating it and understanding it by writing about what just happened to me. And I would say for me, through me. And that's how my books get written, like all of them, right from the very beginning. So it's kind of cool that way. And with this one, the only real difference was that I knew that it was going to talk about the medicine wheel. And so I knew, therefore, there was going to be four sections, the south, the west, the north, and the east. Like that was going to be represented. But I didn't actually really know from the beginning, I didn't know at all from the beginning, like what was going to actually show up in each section. I started figuring that out as I was writing. And that was cool. And it was experiential again. So it was like, oh, this is totally what needs to go in this section. And that's how I write. So it's very fluid, it's very impromptu. It's just kind of listening and going along with the events of my life and trusting that flow and then putting it out there. So I don't really write things logically. They don't start logical. They start like with just an intention and a sort of basic outline.
Ah, may likey indeed. That's right indeed. Setting that intention. That's right indeed. Putting it out into the darn planet. That's right indeed. And then filling the pages. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Filling the pages like all the cups of water from a pitcher. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Heck, even like it's a baseball field. That's right indeed. She's got a whole diamond, y'all. That's right indeed. That's right.
I used to take my kids used to play Little League, and one of my children was just such a daydreamer that he would get out there and just start like looking at the butterflies and stuff. Like he would not focus on the game. And so we had to do this whole thing where we're like, okay, baseball ready. Baseball ready. You have to put your hands on your knees. Baseball ready. Like pay attention to what's going on. And we'll give you a Pokemon card if you can do that. And it did help a little bit, but not much because he was so distractible. Butterflies were way more interesting than baseball.
There you go. Now you know he's really your kid.
Totally. It's completely my kid.
That's right indeed. They passed the test, y'all. That's right indeed. He passed the test long ago.
It was obvious from the beginning, yeah.
Oh yeah, that part too. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was right in my womb, so there you go. He's definitely mine. Now he's his own person, but both of my sons are their own people now. They're their own people and they're growing up 20 and 23, and it's amazing to be a mom of young men who are finding their way in life. It's incredible and it's incredibly challenging to be a mom um, and just to hold back and watch them live their lives and make their choices and go through their experiences and it's like I can't keep them from falling off the bicycle. They're going to fall off if they fall off and then they get back up.
Ah, that's right indeed. It's kind of funny how one's 20 and the other one's 23, and it's 2023.
That is so funny. I didn't even think about that, Dom. Wow. That's cool.
Inner medicine at work. You love to see it.
See, the synchronicities align, don't they? Hmm.
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So my goodness, so with this magical book and the tour you're going on, is there a question that you wish to be asked more often about this book and the work you're doing?
You know what I would love? Love, 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 love. If it's everybody could really respect and honor each other's journeys. And is part of that is like to realize the awesome power of God Source Creator, Great Spirit, to create a unique life journey that's perfectly suited for every single person. And to get out of this idea of one path, one um, one right way to do everything, and to get into this comfort with your own path and your own knowing, and stay in that, kind of like stay in your own lane on the highway. Let other people discover the truth for themselves. They're being guided anyway by the Great Spirit, God Source Creator. And they're going to find their way without you kind of like pointing them in the right direction and telling them what to do. So I would love if everybody would just respect that the Creator can show up in like gazillions of ways, and they're all true for the person that is receiving that, and to have respect for that. And I think if we could do that, we would really prevent a whole lot of unnecessary conflict that leads to, persecution and wars and all kinds of really nasty stuff on earth that's been happening for thousands of years. Like, I think we can mature out of that mode of being so sure about things for other people, and just be sure about things for ourselves. I think that would be really mature and would really benefit the planet because obviously, we've created some technologies now that could decimate all life on the planet, and we really don't want to do that. So at least I would prefer if we don't do that. And if we don't stop kind of like these kind of really intense arguments over such sacred things, then we are going to end up in some damage to the planet. And the planet really can't tolerate that. So, it's kind of like time for us to grow up, be more mature.
Ah, well said indeed. Well said indeed. That's right indeed. The wise words spoken by sages. You love to see it. You love to hear it. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. 'Cause, yeah, definitely got on each other's journeys indeed. That's right indeed. Because think about journeys. There are all sorts of winding roads. That's right indeed. One day you're in the mountains and you're with the snow caps and you got a bunch of snow on you. Then you wake up in a random jungle and you're talking turkey with a camel. And then you talk turkey with a turkey. And then you wake up the next day and you have a sheep wool on your head. And you'd be like, man, I thought I was the daughter of a shepherd, not a son of a shepherd. It's crazy.
You're crazy. Silly is good. Silly is good. We were talking about this before the show. It's like we're so dang serious about everything. And that seriousness is going to get us in some trouble. Like that's the thing that gets people all locked up. It's like, dude, just take a chill pill. Like, and don't take a pill, but you know what I mean. Like, chill out. Get with Mother Earth, ground yourself, open your heart, sing a song, do what makes you happy. And you know what? If everyone was just doing what made them happy, they'd be less concerned about what everybody else was doing. Just
Heck
do
yeah,
what makes you
indeed.
happy.
Heck yeah, indeed. It's right indeed. If folks mind each other's business, stop mind their own business for once instead of everybody else's, we have a lot more peace in society. And it's funny, the good old saying, take a chill pill. So my goodness, that actually made me think of one of your books, Skills Not Pills.
I know.
So in this case, take a chill skill. So are there any chill skills in the book that folks can look forward to when it comes to inner medicine?
Yes, chill skills. I love that you reframe that. Yeah, so in inner medicine, it's about connecting with Mother Earth. And the subtitle is Becoming One with Mother Earth for the Survival of Humanity. It's a little bit like dun dun dun. But it's true because we are facing an extinction event on the planet, like a potential extinction event. And so, we're all doing our work many of us that are already woken up have been doing our work to prevent that from happening. And I think we're doing a pretty good job. But, we can't really give up on that. We got to keep pushing forward, and doing our work and lifting the planet. So, one thing you can do is connect with the planet. So, when we connect back with Mother Earth, what happens is that our bodies calm down, because our bodies are made of earth and they're kind of like animals. Like it's a being that needs love, attention, nurturing, grounding, nature, water, like touch. Like your body is like an animal. It needs all those things. Like you wouldn't get a cat and then never pet the cat. You've got to like actually take care and give care to your body. And when you connect with Mother Earth, what happens is when you get really grounded in your body, like through grounding meditation or through just standing barefoot on the earth or sitting with your back against a tree, those are all great ways to get grounded. And when you get grounded, what happens is that your nervous system relaxes and your heart opens, and pretty much you get balanced back with the heart coherence of Mother Earth. You get in heart coherence with the Schumann resonance. And when you get in coherence with that, instead of being in beta brain, which is that fight or flight brain, that kind of busy mind brain, that kind of relaxes. And now you get into alpha brain or theta brain. And when you're in alpha and theta brain, that's the brain that those not feeling pills open up. So you don't actually need the not feeling pills. You just need to actually go ground outside and learn how to connect in a really grounded way with Mother Earth and rebalance your nervous system so that your heart is in coherence with Earth. And the more you practice that skill, the more you walk around coherent. And when you walk around coherent, you share your coherency with everybody else around you. And then it brings other people into like more coherence and they calm down a little and they don't get so frantic. Some people are really addicted to the drama and addicted to the frantic. And so, it's a little hard to get, you know, any kind of impact with them. But other people will readily relax and they'll feel much more grounded and safe around you because you are in connection with Earth. And so that's a skill I really recommend that people practice.
There we go. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Never thought it would tie back into the past titles. That's right indeed. A chill skill for you. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's right. Kerri's got ice cubes for you, y'all. That's right indeed.
Yeah,
That's
calm
right
down.
indeed.
Chill out.
That's right indeed. She won't even have to pull out the AK because today is going to be a good day.
Today is a good day.
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So my goodness, fun question for you. So if your wonderful book Inner Medicine were a food, what would it be and why?
That is a totally out of left field question. Um, if my interesting book was food, what would it be? It would be a rainbow plate. It would be a plate with rainbow colored food all over it. So like every color of the rainbow on the plate. And so that means it's healthy and nutritious and good for you and tastes good too.
Ah, there you go. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. It's good for you indeed. The vegans are happy. Love to see
The animals are happy too.
it. Oh yeah, that's right. That joke has a new dimension now. All right, good.
They like not being eaten. But anyway,
Seems kind of fishy to me. Let me stop.
stop. There are some rainbow colored fish and things like that. So, you could have a little fish on your plate and still be eating rainbow.
And then you may end up under the sea. That's right. And then you
Then
wake
you'd
up
be
as a
hanging out with the
vitamin.
other conscious beings on the planet, which are the dolphins and the whales.
Oh yeah, that's right indeed. I hear the dolphins can be extra conscious.
They're actually smarter than us. So they're like down there like, please stop polluting the oceans. Anyway, we got to help our brothers and sisters out down there. We really got to do a better job. So that's why I'm encouraging people to get connected with Earth, because then when you get connected, you realize how important that is. Like, stop polluting the oceans.
Here you go. That's right indeed. Stop polluting the ocean indeed. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. The mind's already polluted enough as it is, depending on who you talk to, where they are, and what they consume. That's right indeed. So folks need to consume this inner medicine. Cop this book. Cop some copies and share it with friends, family. Heck, even share it with a random globe. That's right indeed. So it'll be an Earthception. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. It'll be a globe pictured next to a globe.
I hope so. That'd be nice.
That's right, indeed. So, my goodness, coming down to the magical question reserved for guests to come back for round two. So, you're called to give the final keynote speech of your life, and your entire audience is all 8 billion people on Earth. You got them for 90 minutes. So, what would be the main message of that speech, and what would the main points of that message entail?
Hmm. I think it would be exactly what I've been talking about. It would be, find your own inner medicine, follow your own thumbprint journey, learn from each other, respect the planet, and take good care of your piece of earth because your body is your piece of earth. That's a stewardship that you have. So take good care of that. And if your body and your cell of your body is doing well, then you're helping the rest of the body to do well. And somehow I would talk about that for 90 minutes.
Oh, don't worry, it's highly possible. There may be a firewalk involved, you never know.
Could be. We might need to purify consciousness.
That's right indeed. Purify that consciousness. That's right indeed.
Purify
That's right indeed.
consciousness, release fear.
That's right indeed. Turning everybody into a random orb of light. That's right indeed.
Yes. This is how we transition. We just become like light balls, like bang, and you're gone, poof, out of here, just like a orb of light. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I'm not predicting that, but I will say, yes, increase the light on the planet.
And then you'll be in a lighter mood.
Exactly. Exactly. That is very true.
That's right indeed. Everybody know Kerri is cooler than two cucumbers because the corn is still on the cob here. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. The greatest export of this podcast, corn on the cob. That's right indeed. Or should I say a pun on a cob?
Oh, well, corn is actually the great harvest, right? So I appreciate you bringing that corn in here. That's good.
And that's why you're my kind of people. So, for those who enjoyed the pun on a pob and need to keep up with all the wonderful stuff that you're doing, and cop some copies of all of your magical books and keep up with your journey so that way they know when the final bomb shelter of all the skills you have come into one giant spear bomb of power. What's the best way for folks to do so?
That would be to visit the page for the book launch, which is kerrihummingbird.com, which is KERRI hummingbird.com / inner medicine, all one word, inner medicine.
Woohoo! We heard that right, folks. Gonna put a link to that in the show notes. Check out Kerri's site, indeed. That's right, indeed. And be sure to subscribe to her podcast as well, The Soul Nectar Show, indeed. That's right, indeed. Hundreds of episodes to choose from. Yours truly is now buried deep within the sands of time on that podcast now, because we've both survived for the wonderful pod feed. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Because she's kicking out content in more ways than one, and check out that inner medicine. That's right indeed. You'll be in her medicine indeed. That's right indeed. Her wonderful medicine bag. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Like the kids say, the cool kids say, she is in her bag, and Kerri is in her bag with this book. Indeed, it's a bag of tricks that are not for kids, it's for everybody. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So before a random rabbit hole appears with the wonderful rabbit to try to reclaim some cereal, Any parting words before we close up shop, Kerri?
Oh, I just want to say thank you so much, Dom, and thanks to everybody who's listening. And spread the joy, spread the love, spread the laughter, spread the silliness. Have some fun. Lighten up, as you said.
Thanks a bunch for investing your time by listening to this wonderful podcast today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you really did, do me a solid and leave a review or share this episode with at least 3 people that you think would get some value out of today's content. Advance others to advance yourself.